My name is Afoma by Modebe, but my middle name is Misha, but people call me Afoma. I came to Finland last year, October, and I'm currently doing my second master's here in Finland at University of Eastern Finland. My name is Afoma by Modebe, but my middle name is Misha, but people call me Afoma. I came to Finland last year, October, and I'm currently doing my second master's here in Finland at University of Eastern Finland. I'm studying Masters in International Business and Sales Management. Currently, I'm in my second year and I'm about to wrap up my program, and also I intend to get a professional job here or probably move to a better country afterwards. So I'm open to getting a professional career here in Finland or maybe move to Canada from here, whichever one that works. First of all, my decision was made on the premise of Finland scholarships and also the fact that Finland is one of the happiest countries in the world, and also it's affordable for people with low funds, and Finland has very good security and good standard of living. Well, before now, we only need IELTS for people who are going for master's or PhD, but with the new policy, everyone needs IELTS, both bachelor's, vocational, masters, and otherwise. Okay, yeah, there's free education to an extent. I would say Finland has one of the best scholarship platforms, but it's highly competitive. So, for instance, in a school, there could be just 2 slots for full scholarship. And of course, you know that if there's just 2 slots for that, it would be very competitive. However, there are various scholarships, like some departments get up to 70%, 80%, 100%. So it depends on how strong your application is. But almost all courses have scholarships attached to them. Well, it was pretty straightforward. So I went online and I checked for schools in Finland with affordable tuition, and also schools that had really flexible payment plan and high scholarship rate. So I came across my school, University of Eastern Finland, and I saw that they were giving 50% scholarship for the course I wanted to study. So I applied through studyinfo.fi. All applications usually go through studyinfo.fi, but there are some schools that you can apply directly to the school website. So when I applied through the application, funny enough, I didn't have IELTS, as at the time I applied, I used English waiver from my school, and I was given admission and also given the 50% scholarship from the school. So it would have been 8,000 euro per year, but I'm paying 4,000 euro per year. Yeah, all courses have scholarship, but then again, all courses have different rates. So for courses like toxicology, environmental health sciences, they could have up to 80% to 90% of scholarship. So that means that the person ends up paying about 500 to 800 euros yearly, which is really affordable. But courses like mine, which are professional courses and core business courses, are just about 50% scholarship, which is about just maybe 4,000 euros taken out of your entire fees. And then you're left with 4,000 to pay per year. So it's still fair enough. I feel Finland is more inclined to science, so they give priority to science inclined. So Finland visa application is very, very straightforward if you would be very honest with your application. So what you need to do is when you get your admission, you go to Migrate website. Migrate is like the official website where they communicate about your visa process and everything. So there are documents there that show you how you can prove to them that the funds in your account is yours. So there are different ways to do your visa application in terms of proving your funds to the embassy. First, one of the ways is using a sponsor. And then when you use a sponsor, there are several things that your sponsor is supposed to show or have. First of all, the proof of fund for Finland for a student is about 6,750 euros.
Call that again.
6,750 euros.
Okay.
Yes, which I don't know the current rate now in Naira. So if your sponsor is going to put that money in your account, he has to show some relevant documents. However, your sponsor shows that he has an occupation, maybe he works in a bank or whatever. There are necessary documents he's supposed to show to the embassy, such as his contract, pay slip for like 6 months, his introduction letter to you, showing relationship to you as whatever, maybe brother, uncle, or whoever he is to you. Also, you can use branded documents, you can use gift deed. There are so many ways you can show your funds, but everything needs to be legitimate and also explicit to the embassy. And most important thing is that the funds must be in your account. However, whether you are using a sponsor or you are sponsoring yourself, because there are some countries like Australia, you don't necessarily need the funds to be in your account if you're using a sponsor. Your sponsor can just give you a bank statement. But for Finland, even if you're using a sponsor, the sponsor must transfer that money into your account and also give you his bank statement and relevant documents. You could use your local currency account, you could use foreign account, whichever way that suits you, and you can prove to the embassy that this money was gotten legitimate. Yes. If your proof of fund is not straightforward enough for them to believe that this money is yours and you are actually coming to Finland to study on a good cause, they would reject it. So you need to follow step by step the necessary documents to actually back up your claim so that your application is not being rejected.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing first, I got admission. After my admission, I went to study info.fi and accepted the admission.
Okay.
So when I accepted the admission, the next step was to look for my funds to apply for my visa, or rather to apply for my resident permit, because Finland doesn't give visa. What they give is resident permit, student resident permit. So I went on Enter Finland and I filled my applications there and filled the necessary source of funds, and all the necessary explanations were made clearly on Enter Finland, right? So when I finished that process, I submitted it online and then I printed it out. For Finland, you'd go to both VFS and embassy. So after filling my Enter Finland application, I printed out a slip which I took to VFS. Sorry, I omitted something. Usually, during the peak of admission, there is always this surge for VFS bookkeeping. So what I did was that when I got my admission, I tried to book for VFS early enough because the dates are usually highly competitive. So I think first thing first, once your admission comes out and you're sure that your proof of fund is sorted out, you can just book for your VFS because that usually takes a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you book for your VFS, you can then work towards the date while you prepare your documents, how to fill your application on Enter Finland. So after your admission, you fill your application on Enter Finland for the embassy. You print it out. By then, VFS would have given you a date. So you go to VFS with your printout and all necessary documents, including your passport. You do your biometrics and submit all necessary documents to them. And then they give you, usually it's a day or 2 days after, you go to the embassy for follow-up or maybe like interview, and just to be sure that, okay, you're the one that filled the applications and everything. And some people are lucky enough, some get their decision as fast as 1 week, 2 weeks, some people 1 month, some people 2 months. Mine took about 2 months and 2 weeks. So it depends on, yeah. Yeah, I only paid for my first. In Finland, we have 2 semesters in 1 year. So the 4,000 euro I mentioned earlier, it's about 2,000 per semester. So I paid only 2,000 euro from Nigeria. However, I made sure that the remaining 2,000 euro I was to pay for that same year was in my balance of my proof of fund. So if my proof of fund was 6,750 euros, I added the 2,000 to it, making it about 8,750 euros. So that way, it shows that in the real sense, you are coming to Finland for just a period of 3 to 4 months before the next installment. So it's realistic that you should not have been able to work to make that money. So they expect the balance of the fees in your account, which makes it more, except you're paying the 1 year at a stretch. But if you're not paying the full year, you should have the balance in your account. Okay, so for my arrival, it was very easy because I came in through Europe. So there are 2 ways to come into Finland. If you're using Ethiopian airline, you usually come in through Europe, which is Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay.
And when you come in through Europe, it's assumed that you have been checked in Europe. So they would not necessarily pass you through the immigration border. You will come out through the citizen carousel where you don't necessarily need to see anybody. However, using other airlines like Lufthansa, Qatar, Turkish Airline, and so on, you always have to come in through Helsinki, which is the main border here. So the immigration, of course, most times they check your account to be sure that the proof of fund is still intact. So some people have had experiences where they stop them and then they check their account balance and they're like, why is your proof of fund not complete, and so on. So it's always advisable to leave your proof of fund in your account till you get to Finland. Yeah, it's not difficult. So when I came Yeah, when I got to Finland, I tried to, though a friend came to pick me and gave me a soft landing, but I also had to make some move by myself. I asked him to take me to the nearest store where I could get. Here in Finland, SIM card are sold in almost all stores, especially our kiosks. Our kiosks is also at the airport. You can find our kiosk store at the airport. So you can get SIM card at any closest our kiosk store or any mobile like Elisa, Telia, and so on. So it's pretty easy to get a SIM card immediately you get into Finland. You could just ask at the airport and they will direct you where to get a SIM card from. Well, for me, I would say the most important thing to come here with is a valid skill.
Okay,
When I mean valid skill, when I mean a valid skill, I mean a skill for ladies. If you can learn how to make hair or fix clothes or do something different that could actually make you get some extra income here. And also for guys, maybe if you could learn barbing, learn some IT skills or something that could help you stand out. Because in the long run, these skills are soft skills and they can fetch you a lot of money. So I think this is the key thing here. Coming here with a skill is very, very important. However, of course, it's good to come with everything in Nigeria that you think is necessary, like foodstuff, which to me, I don't think foodstuff should be a priority, actually. Yeah. Most important thing to come to Finland or to travel abroad with is a valid skill. That's all. And also for those coming to Finland, it's very important to come with your driver's license. Very, very important. It can be international, it can be local driver's license. Because in Finland, when you come to Finland, and I think I'm not so certain, but I think after a year of your arrival here, you will not be able to change your driver's license to Finnish license. You have to go through driving school, which usually costs about 1,000 to 1,500 euros, which is quite expensive. No.
Okay.
No.
With your English language, you can do well there.
Yeah, of course.
But English is not the official language.
Yeah, it's not, but they speak English. It's not the official language, but they speak English. Well, to be honest, one of my major challenges here was the weather, because I think that was my first culture shock, going to class and coming out by 1 and everywhere was already dark. Like, what's happening? I don't understand. Yeah, Finland. Yeah, 1 p.m. and everywhere was really dark.
How? Why?
Winter. During winter, it gets really dark on time, and then everywhere is just so cold, and I think they call winter depression season. Yeah, so I think first of all, the cold is not something I really enjoy here. It's one of my challenges. Maybe some people like cold, they will really enjoy it here, but for me, I don't like cold. It's too cold here. Sometimes it gets up to like minus 10 degrees, minus 15. That's just too much. And another challenge I had here was the system. The system here, especially getting jobs. I'll be honest, because it's expected that jobs should be readily available for students, but however, it's not the case here. Oftentimes you get a lot of rejections and it can be depressing, but however, it's not like there's no hope. You just keep pushing and you keep applying. What works more here for students is basically referral. So people who are already in the system refer you. It's faster than when you just apply randomly online. I kept applying. I didn't give up. I got here like a month and I didn't get job till like a month and I think 2 weeks after. And I didn't give up. I got a lot of unfortunately. And then I had to become aggressive with my application. When I mean aggressive, I started going physically to the offices. Sometimes you go to the office and they're like, you don't have an appointment. Sorry, we can't attend to you. Sometimes they don't even open the door. You will be there and nobody is going to open the door for you. Some open and they're like, okay, you've done an application. Don't worry, we'll get back to you. So I started following up with calls. I started following up with physical visit to the offices and just making an intentional move so that they know that I really need this and I'm serious about it. Eventually, I was able to get a job, though the hours were not much. It was just about, I think, 12 hours weekly, but it was something I could do for a start. The average pay per hour depends on what you are doing, but the minimum pay here is about 9.5 euros, 9.50 cents. Yeah, that's the minimum pay per hour. Yeah, that's the minimum. But what some people do, like when you come in here, for especially for guys, there's this job, mail delivery, but it's usually in the night. It's one of the easiest job to get here. So you get to deliver mails to houses in the night. They call it posting. And also for those doing delivery of food, they can make as high as 1,500 to 2,000 euros in a month. The first student job I got was cleaning. I would say for now, if it's possible for the person to get a soft IT skill. When I mean soft IT skill, it could be just basics of data analytics or basics of building dashboards, basics of being a Scrum Master, basics of all these things. So at the end of the day, you can come in here without doing any of these odd jobs, and then you apply for these jobs, and trust me, you get them. Because one thing about Finland is that Finland is home of technology, and they're always very in need of these IT professionals. I have few persons that came in here and they never did any odd job. They got IT jobs immediately. They got in here. However, I would also say when the person comes in here, even if the person doesn't have any IT skill or whatever, right? There are ways you could approach these student jobs. So first of all, there's something we call hygiene passport. Hygiene passport enables you, it's an exam you write, right? You write the exam and they give you a card. So what that card does for you is that it helps you get kitchen jobs, like restaurant, dishwashing. These jobs are like the top paid for students. They are top paid jobs for students.
Okay.
Yes, compared to cleaning and other jobs. So I would say if it's possible for the person to come into Finland and try to write the exam immediately so that he or she can stand the high chances of getting these kitchen jobs that could fetch them higher pay as a student and also help them to sort their bills pending when they break into the professional career. I think that's better. Yeah, it's worth it, I wouldn't lie, because Finland has one of the best education system in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, Finland is a country that I can sleep outside by 12 a.m. and I'm not scared of anything. One of the best countries with the high security. Yeah, I think Finland has zero crime rate. It's very safe. It's worth it because you are not studying under so much pressure. There's so much benefits for students, student accommodation, student loans, student benefits, student insurance. There are so many things put in place to enable students to afford a reasonable lifestyle without being under pressure. So I think at the end of the day, it is worth it studying here. Even though the language could be a barrier in some cases, but it's still worth giving a trial. Yeah, for people in vocational sectors like maybe care job and so on, like cook, it's compulsory to have Finnish language skills. It's compulsory, yes. But for courses like management courses, no, it's not necessary. However, there are some courses like tourism and some courses in some schools that it is compulsory. It's always stated there in their website. You would see that Finnish language it's compulsory. Yeah. It's always, you would see it in their application. Well, I would say moving to a new country is the same everywhere. So one thing I know about Canada is strong tie base, strong home tie base, especially when you're going to study. Whether you are in Finland, whether you are moving from Sweden, they just want to establish the fact that you're going to go back after studying. So it's not, there's no hard and fast rule that because I'm in Finland and I want to apply to go to Canada, it's going to be swift or it's going to be magical. It's still the same process that someone going from Nigeria will go through that I have to go through, because I need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that I am in Finland and I'm going to come back to Finland after my studies. So it's still the same process you go through. You apply for your admission, you write your statement. In Canada, the most important thing is your statement of purpose, your intent. And if you can't prove to them that this is the reason why you want to study, I don't think they would grant you any visa, regardless of where you are.